The this keyword is one of the complicated topics in JavaScript. To understand the this keyword, we need to first understand what a JavaScript program actually is. A JavaScript program is essentially a cluster of communicating objects. During its execution, a virtual communication is happening between these objects. However, not all these objects are on the same level, and there exists a hierarchy between them. In the top, it is the global object, which is the window object in the browser. Every other object is inside this window object. A JavaScript object is simply a container for named properties. A property is simply a key-value pair. This is how we usually write an object in JavaScript. As we can see, it is a container and has properties, which are key-value pairs. As already discussed in the start of the video, the window object is the global object in the browser. It contains every other object including the user-defined ones. In the global scope, we can simply use the console log statement to see the window object. As we can see, all the objects are inside the window object. To recall, we earlier mentioned that JavaScript is essentially a cluster of communicating objects. However, all these objects are not in the same level. Some may be a property of the window object, but others may be a property of an object inside the window object. So, there needs to be a way to communicate where in this hierarchy these objects are from. This is called the execution context. By default, JavaScript engine only knows to search for references inside the window object. Any properties that is not directly inside the window object is left unchecked. Hence, JavaScript engine needs to be told where to look for this specific property. For that, the this keyword is used. The this keyword is a way of telling the JavaScript engine where a particular piece of code needs to be executed from. In other words, it provides context to the JavaScript engine. To understand how to use the this keyword, we will now switch to the console. In the console, we will first create a variable called name and assign the value web cookie. Now we will print the value of the name variable by simply typing name. As we can see, the value web cookie has been printed. The same result can be achieved when we write window.name. This is because variable name is actually a property of the window object, which is always implied by the JavaScript engine. Now we will create an object with property of first name and a method that console logs the value of that property. In the next line, we will call that method. We can see that it returned a reference error that first name is not defined. This is because the JavaScript engine is checking window.firstName, which is undefined. It should instead be checking window.objectName.firstName, which will return the value web. For that, we will use the this keyword. Let's recreate the object again. But this time in the console log statement, we provide this .firstName instead. Now we will run objectName.method. As we can see, it has printed the correct value. That's because it became window.this.firstName. Here, this contains the value object name. So it becomes window.objectName.firstName, which will in turn print the correct value. Hope now you know a little more about the this keyword. See you in the next one.